Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel where stories and other random things take center stage and imagination is prized above all. Welcome to today's video and happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great morning and will continue to have a fantastic rest of your day. So today I'm super excited because I am reviewing a brand new anime I watched called Maidens In Your Savage season. It is on High Dive, by the way, if you want to watch it. It's a really good anime. It's both subbed and dubbed. I watched the dubbed version. I really enjoyed it. It was great. It's 12 episodes. It took me a little bit to watch it because I didn't always log in to watch it, but it is 12 episodes of awesomeness. I highly enjoyed it. So I'm really happy to review it. I don't think there will be a season 2, although I really hope there is. But if there is, if it ever comes out that there will be a season 2, I'm going to put up I'm going to change the title to season 1 review. Anyway, Maidens in Your Savage season follows five high school girls who form a literature club, and they are using that literature club to understand sex and also their own, and also later as it continues, their own emotions, because they don't really have that conversation. I think it's based on because of their culture, and they expect they have strict rules about it. However, so that's kind of what they do. That is their thing. Each of them has a different experience, and as the story goes on, it comes to a pretty interesting discovery. All of them have a different view on life and have a different experience with people in general. I find their character arcs amazing. I think that their character arcs were very interesting in the show. And I feel like there is something that could definitely bother people, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but it didn't bother me because I'm chalking it up to the fact that is to culture in a way, and also the age of consent. Quick little trigger warning. I am going to be mentioning something about these characters, and one of the fact is going to be related to pedophilia, and also something that could be viewed as I guess statutory rape. It could be viewed that way, or an adult making advances to a teenage girl. So quick little trigger warning for that. I will be mentioning it when I talk about these characters. Honestly, I think the story though was actually told well. It's basically a slice of life anime where each of them discovers their emotions, and each of them has conflict and something interesting. I found for all of them are kind of referred to by last name. So we're gonna see how I'm gonna make it. So one of the more interesting things about this is the way that they delve into reading in order to discuss emotions, and how they basically see the purpose of books and how it helps them sort of try to do that. So for example, we have a writer in the literature club, and she wants to write an erotica, and she wants to write an erotic novel, but her editor tells her it's not as good, and she realized she doesn't have any experience, so she goes to very desperate measures in order to get it. And this is where this might bother people, because she ends up going into this online chat room and ends up meeting this person who is much older than her, and she and the plan that she has is that he would sleep with her, you know what I mean? So she eventually discovers that he is not, he is an adult, and eventually finds out that he's also a teacher in her high school. So she blackmails him to become the advisor of their literature club, because otherwise it might be taken away. So it's interesting. However, he has no interest in her. but it's interesting because he does decide to help her understand sexuality. So to people it could look that way, but his actions are not presented as bad because he doesn't really do anything to her. He kind of she's usually the one that makes the advances while he's really not that interested in her sexually at all. Um, so I found that to be interesting. It could bother some people, but also I do want to say, at least last time I checked, I would have to literally research this to find out. But last I checked, the consent age in Japan was 13. So I don't know. So that is something to also consider. Another thing where sex became a pretty big thing for another character, which was inappropriate, was for Nina, who was a child actress. However, she had a director that basically told her that the moment she lost her virginity and girlish charms, that she wouldn't be popular or liked or anything in that form, and that he wouldn't do that. And he talks about children, and he basically talks a lot about kids in the way that that he's interested in them. But when she talks about her story, he never touched her inappropriately. Like, he never put a finger on her. He just had this inappropriate he just has this very, very inappropriate um way to view children. And we know it's bad, especially with Izumi's reactions in the story. Izumi is also another point of conflict in the show, because there is a love triangle, since Nina starts to care about him and also Kazusa, and they cause this conflict between them. So that was an interesting plot line. Momoko is probably one of my favorite characters. Like, she starts avoiding this person who kind of may have asked her on a date, and she doesn't know why, but the realization that she has is interesting. It's precious. It's a precious realization, and I think it's great that she can realize these things, and that she had and she understood that. I think it was a great representation of a queer character, the way that maybe they're confused for one reason or another, and I thought that was great. Rika Sanazaki was also a very interesting character to consider. I'm sorry, to be there, because her main view is that everybody kind of views sex as some form of like she views everybody in her school as very horny people, and she thinks that they're all very superficial. But when but then she meets this one person who shows interest in the in her as a person, and we find out a little bit about her backstory and the hinting of bullying, and how all this stuff kind of informed her views, and how this one person who got really interested in her in general had really thought about her. And it's very funny because she asked him for a 50-page report, and he gave it to her, but a lot of it was basically him saying cute, basically how she thought she was cute, and all that stuff. And it was a very emotional scene, because it's like, how can this one person's writings of cute erase away all the hurt? And I thought that was interesting. Now, I mentioned some of my favorite things. I can go on and on and on about how amazing this series is, but I think this is a series that you need to definitely experience on your own. I think it's a series that you should definitely experience, and it's a series that you should look to watch. It's only 12 episodes. It's really good, and it's adorable. I think it definitely catches the high and heavy teenage emotions, the highs and lows, and how they how they feel about the things around them. And I think it's a great series for that. So yes, Oh Maidens in Your Savage season. I loved it. I loved everything regarding that. So also one thing I enjoy, one of my favorite parts I think of this is the opening. The opening was amazing. The ending was great too, but the opening was just like my favorite. Like the opening credits were genius. I loved them. They were amazing. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is my review for Oh Maidens in Your Savage season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe if you're interested in more content, and turn on notifications so you're aware when I release videos. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Until next time, consume stories. Bye.